Well, hello, fellow traveler. I knew I could be expecting you. Wandered off into the alfalfa again, but as they say, not all who wander are lost. And in fact, I believe you are found. You are found right on the road where you belong at this time, as will be revealed to you over the next 72 hours. I was looking out the window and I saw a skeleton key form in the sky. The sylphs were speaking up. It is solstice coming in here. By the time you receive this message, it will be after midnight, and we'll officially be entering the longest day of the year when we have the most access to the light. And so you are being asked to take advantage of this because something is being lit up for you. A skeleton key is being lit up for you. The last time you came on through, we talked about this special key that you hold, that you're questing for, you could say. I believe there's 2 keys on offer here. You could unlock some luck, a little bit of luck as you travel through this portal of transformation over the next 72 hours. Or you could achieve the 4 pillars of the clover, which are faith, hope, trust, luck, with a hefty dose of abundance in the mix. And maybe that's what that skeleton key message is about, that you could get a little luck. You could get a key that unlocks a little bit of luck, a little lucky break, a little twist in fortune, a little extra dough to get you by, to make the way a little bit easier. Or you could achieve the skeleton key that unlocks all 4 of the blessings of the clover. There's something that is going to be lit up for you over these next 72 hours that will highlight what the way through is to achieve the skeleton key. So pay attention, because the signs are going to be all around you. You've been going through some pretty tempering territory and you're just about refined. This is quite a test. Will you settle for less? Or are you going to go for the whole enchilada? It's up to you. It all depends on your ability to really work with the light force when it's at its zenith. And pay attention, because there is a skeleton key to be found here. We're going to tap into the annals of some arcane bullshit to see what needs to be seen in order to recognize this key when it shows up for us. Because see, it doesn't just unlock those pillars of the clover, it also opens up any door of opportunity. A skeleton key is like a master key, right? It might be a key offered through somebody rather unassuming, somebody that maybe you don't feel is of much importance. This could just be a stranger passing you by. When you're out and about, you don't really think much of the experience, and yet they are there as an agent of transformation and change. If you pay attention, they're showing you something that helps you cut through delays and allows you to be crowned by your star, as well as setting your sights on what will deliver true fulfillment of your happiness. But there's only one time when you can hit the mark, and that's when the sun is at its zenith. So 24-hour window of potency to spot the skeleton key, and then another 48 to figure out how you need to use it first to transform something that has been keeping you hung up for too long, creating delays. It's really about getting your sights on lock with what the true gift is. You see, if you look in the stranger's eyes, you see Gabo there, the gifts within. Don't be confused by outside appearances. I do feel like this could come through a rather unassuming experience that you're more prone to just sort of, you know, brush off like it's nothing. It might be something that you would never even pay attention to, but there is something coming through that nothing is something, and nobody is truly nobody. Everybody is somebody over these next 24 hours that hold a little piece of the puzzle that makes up the big picture of what this skeleton key is. Now, are you finding an actual physical key? It could be. It could also be metaphorical. It could be a key piece of information, but this information, this little tidbit, something that seems so small, it unlocks everything. So pay attention to what comes through here for you. Because it is the miraculous chalice. When you receive this, you become immortal. You are able to cheat death. You are able to sideswipe anything that would try to get you caught up at the crossroads. And you are able to have clear vision for what's up ahead. I dare say you can even see through glamour. And this is something that continues to fill you up. And the more that it fills you up, the more it fuels your fire. The more you feel empowered, the more you got distance and resilience for the road ahead. And the more it unlocks your gifts, special abilities, talents, even insights you never knew you had. Could even awaken spiritual gifts within you, new clairs coming on through. But you have to pay attention. You have to be able to recognize where nobody is somebody and nothing is something. And in being able to spot this, you finally understand what's needed to shoot for the moon. When you find this, it will produce a chain reaction where all of a sudden you unlock 5 pathways of opportunity to explore some rather wild territory that takes you places you've never been before. But where it lands you is the place that your soul is truly crying out for. And there's absolute alignment there. So let go to the absurdity. Nothing has to make sense, because nonsense makes complete sense over the next 72 hours. Let's get some more details about what's coming on through here. You see, you're flowing forward in a very different way than you ever have before. And you do have the ability to occupy both the watery realms and the realms of the earth. You have an ability to be an intermediary in the in-between spaces of alchemy. You can at once hold the thorns even as you see the bloom unfurl its petals for you. And there is something that if you spot this key, you move forward very swiftly, even against the current. You're able to be the first that arrives to receive the rose. So make sure that you're alert. Don't rest for long, because there's a lot of energies out there that are also greedy and longing to get their hands on this skeleton key that could use its powers adversely They could use its powers to open many doors for themselves as they make your way more difficult to navigate. So it's almost like there's an opportunity to circumnavigate a tricky situation, something that has put you through a bit of a proverbial obstacle course. And you're getting an opportunity to clear all obstacles from the deck. But there's other forces out there that are aware that this skeleton key is on offer. And it's whoever gets there first. So don't spend too much time at rest. If you've been feeling a little bit under the weather or low on energy or feel like you just don't have your get up and go, drag yourself out of bed if you have to, but make use of the longest day of the year because there's so much that will become clear for you. And the more that you can spend your time outdoors in the elements on solstice, the more you're going to find everything you need to lead you to this key. And it'll save you a whole lot of time. In fact, that can be the forces that are trying to keep you from finding this key, trying to keep you in this place of being dull and listless and tired and lacking ambition. And this is what you need to turn around, because there's just a flicker in time to achieve this key that opens up all of the mysteries to you. And with the power you hold, also opens a new chapter in the story of your life where you are on your hero's arc. You've been sinking like a stone, weighed down by the heaviness of old latent energies that are ready to be shed. The moth medicine is calling you forward. The moth always goes through the fire of transformation. And that's what's required of you to find your way through, to defeat the sands of time, and thereby achieve immortality. Immortality is a state of mind. Tapping into the eternal is nothing more than a shift of perspective. Death's doorway is the way through to rebirth, renewal. And this is something that you will see if you pay attention and if you don't go back to sleep. So the moment you open your eyes on solstice, don't set your alarm on snooze. Don't tell yourself, oh, let me just languish here a little bit longer. No, get up, go outside, greet the sun, and just allow yourself to enter the flow of the longest day and see what comes your way. You'll spot the sign of transformation. You'll spot the key that allows you access through into another dimension of awareness. And this is what changes the whole story. There's something about this that's already been foretold in your Akashic records, and you're accessing this part of the storyline now. But you know what it's like? It's a little bit like choose your own adventure kind of energy, where it's all about what you choose to do, how you choose to focus your energy, how you choose to work with this light force that is at its zenith at this point. It's all about the way that you take advantage of the opportunity while it's ripe. And what you choose will determine how the page turns. Okay? Something very interesting coming through here. And really, like, get active, be out and about. There's people to bump into. There's signs to spot. There's unique experiences that await you if you can be open to it. 1433. They offer you the power of temperance. The synchronicity is lining up here. And if you spot the signs, it makes you master of the hunt. and you're able to find your way through that space in between the safety zone and a whole lot of fun. And that's where all the magic happens. So don't hang out here idle, wizard. It's very important because the magic is here. It's on offer. But if you allow yourself to be hung up here, if you allow yourself to stay in this current state of feeling like you don't have what you need to get where you need to go, or the odds aren't in your favor, or whatever this may be, then you're going to stay right where you are. And you're going to have a continuation of the current storyline you've been on, which I know is not really what you're wanting. You're wanting to extract something more out of life at this time. And it is on offer. This is actually something that got set in motion with the blue moon in Sagittarius. And this is really when the hunt is opening up at this time. It's when we are charging forward and we're racing toward the culmination of Jupiter in Cancer that's going to come during that cycle with the Cancer new moon on July 14th. And it's going to move us through that retrograde energy. So there is a little bit of that back to the future quality that's indicative here. It does require your focus. It does require you to set your sights. It does require you to shoot for the moon. But if you can step out of the safety zone, or get yourself out of bed, or step out of your seclusion and get outdoors and just see with the spirit of curiosity what shows up for you, you're going to find the way through. And that's when the fun really begins. One more round. All right, so remember those things that you're being tested on as you are finishing the process of being forged in the fire of the master maker. You are that journeyman. And this is a real pivotal stretch of road in the journey, these next 72 hours, but especially the first 24. Yeah, it's so interesting, you see. Don't ignore what's showing up. Don't negate its power. It is a test. Are you going to stay at the crossroads, or are you going to find the way through? You have to remember, what may seem like nothing is actually something. And it's something that is the foundation of what you will build your new world upon. See, the tortoise, right? The tortoise may seem slow. The hare thought that it could be tricky, beat the tortoise to the punch, but we all know the tortoise wins the race in the end. Slow and steady wins the race. These messages have been coming through the portal report. Sure, anybody can take a quick action and set something in motion, but it takes somebody who has truly mastered and harnessed their own emotions, their own senses, their own intuition, their own timing, to be able to wait for the right moment to take action. And that's where all the power is, where something can really get rooted here. So don't get distracted tomorrow by what's going on online. In fact, I encourage you maybe to take a break from that and to get in touch with what's going down outside of the cyber realm, because there's so much teeming with life there. And you know, it is Turtle that is part of many different tribal creation stories, creating the very earth itself. And so there's something coming through here that's allowing you to access a very special kind of magic through the skeleton key that opens up every door of opportunity, because it gives you the ability to be the foundation of the world that you want to create here. Yeah. So tune out from all of the programming, okay? Tune out from the TV, tune out from your screens, and tune in to what's going on in the world around you, because there's some truth here that is trying to find you, but you're not able to see it because you're zoned out, right? This is so important at this time. I dig this energy, man. Let's get a fairy guide, shall we? I mean, it is Letha, so it feels appropriate. Also, yeah, you may want to, get outside, because it is the time when the wild, feral, masculine, and feminine come together and mate and make all things grow in the land. Remember, you can find him in the petrichor, you can find her in the morning dew. You can't find them if you're inside staring at a screen, right? So there's something to really access here. And when we take that to another level and we look at it as internal qualities, this is a time when you can access great creativity within yourself. And it's also a time when you can find its ultimate avenue of expression, an opportunity to bring it into form in the world. Maybe something you never even saw before. It's interesting because outside there's like a cloud that has this like halo of light around it, and it looks like an owl sitting on a tree branch. So owl medicine continues to come on through. Owl associated with Sagittarius, so that's very fitting since this full moon coming up in Capricorn, the full strawberry moon on the 29th, when Mercury retrograde begins, is the culmination of that lunar cycle that got kicked off with that Sagittarius blue moon that closed out the month of May. Okay. You see, we got the Magician coming in with the Wheel of Fortune. So yes, Sagittarian energy showing up with that Wheel of Fortune, showing you that there's more fun up ahead. There's a more free-spirited way to move forward here. But you must spot the magic. And perhaps the owl is here to give a clue as well about how you can give these impious forces the slip. Consult your orb. There is opportunity to take an action that brings about quite a transformation in your reality. And as I say that, now that owl has been hidden under cover, okay? So there is some magic to discover here. There's also deception. See, but that's the benefit of working with the energy of the solstice, is that the light illuminates everything, and things that normally are able to hide in the dark lose their concealment. So you may be able to see something differently than you were able to see it before previously. And that's what allows you to move through tricky territory. Okay, this wanted to present itself. Here comes the Tower of Power, the awakening moment, the crack in the facade. I don't know if you all have been seeing this, noticing this, but I've been having this really interesting experience recently where I'll just be doing my day-to-day usual things. And all of a sudden, it's like I see the Matrix glitch. it's like seeing a disruption in the energy of the actual structure of what's holding the collective illusion in place, the structure of reality. And I keep having this happen. Sometimes it actually looks like the whole material reality like glitches for a second. Sometimes it comes through as like a flash of light. Other times it's this point where you can almost see the disillusion of what seems physical. Like you can really see that it's just an energy pattern here. And there's something about this where the energy pattern of the matrix is being disrupted. And it's that frisson, that space in between what seems solid and firmly held in place, or the box you could say, and what's in between there that is the way through. So there is a awakening moment coming in here. Very powerful energy, but this awakening moment is the way through. It is the chariot that leads us forward into the waters of Aquarius, into the waters of Eridanus, the way that carries us to that brightest star. This is about recognizing that you hold this star in your hands. It's already here. There might also be something about your hands, something happening with your hands, feeling new energy come through your hands, or a significant encounter that involves maybe somebody shaking your hand or putting something in your hand. There's something about your hands here to pay attention to as well. Waiting for a star to fall right into your hands. That came in for the Gemini solar return, but it's absolutely a collective energy too, because we currently have Uranus in Gemini. And that's a real maverick, kind of rogue, unpredictable energy. But with everything that's lining up in tandem with Jupiter in Cancer coming to a culmination, it also marks a point of awakening of a very special gift that is accessible, but you have to be able to see it. You have to be able to be present to be able to receive it. You see, because it's all about being able to be in the waterway to access this. So water is a conduit. And when we think of the waters, we think about our emotions, we think about intuition, we think about our ability to flow. And this is the thing, spontaneous flow is going to arise every time you recognize that an obstacle is always navigated not through trying to grab a hold of it or struggle with it, but your ability to creatively flow around it. So the more that you can enter a flow, no matter what you face, and that could be tested too. There might be some things that could frustrate you, but if you allow yourself to flow with it and maybe unreasonably look at how could this seeming challenge, obstacle, troublesome thing, irksome thing that's showing up here, how could this actually work in my favor? Maybe it's allowing me to get caught up in something for a moment so I can avoid something a lot more disastrous. Or perhaps it's trying to highlight something to me, perhaps that skeleton key that's right here that I'm not paying attention to. Maybe the skeleton key is already within me. It's not something I need to find without. And it's only when I master this irritation or consternation internally that I'm able to access it. Do look for this moment because it is a way through. It's a way through to transformation. Big Aquarian energy coming in with this. So it really does let me know that what we're finding here is something that will serve us for the long haul. It really allows us to move into that expansion, that creativity, that off the cuff, unpredictable, unconventional, but also revolutionary energy that is Pluto in Aquarius. We always have a choice, right? It's like you can stay stuck in the programming. You can stay fixated on that. You can really pay attention to the news and everything that's being spoon-fed to you, and that can tap you into more of the shadow aspect of Pluto in Aquarius, where it's all about the surveillance state and Big Brother's watching you and everything that you have to fear, which ironically, the more you focus on that, the more deeply entrenched the programming becomes, the more you feel like staying inside, staying in your borders, staying in your box, staying in your safety zone, and the more fun eludes you. Or you can move into the other side of Pluto in Aquarius, which is daring to be different, daring to be the oddball, daring to be the one that nobody gets, daring to be daring, doing something different, letting your wild side out, letting yourself be misunderstood, and in the process, finding others who really get you, and finding out who you really are too, because you're no longer staying in the comfort zone of appeasing others' ideas of you. All right, so this is powerful. There's an awakening moment coming through here. For some of you, it may even come through during a storm, during a thunder, lightning storm. Okay. Something could be highlighted to you, especially because that message about you will find me in the petrichor. So that's the masculine energy. You will find me in the petrichor. You will find the avenue. You will find the pathway through in the petrichor. And if you're not dealing with a storm, if it's not showing up in your environment in that way, it can be more of a quiet storm. It can be something that comes through emotional release, and that rainfall could come through symbolically as tears that are shed. And that might be the key, the way through that allows you to tap into the avenue that rises up through you as a result of finally letting something go. Okay, let me do a cut the deck here. Just get some more guidance from these fairy guides. Yeah, there is a way through here. There may be impious forces hot on your tail as you try to find your way to Ragnarok, but you will make it to your place in the sun if you pay attention here. The opportunity is there. And when we take 19 and we add 7 to it, we arrive at, once again, the star. And with the star, we have the energy of 8, which is both strength and justice. All depends on the deck you're working with. But in this particular deck, strength comes through 11 and justice comes through 8. So I really do feel it's that dualistic energy. Also, 8, 11, coming in as a number of synchronicity. And I'm hearing, leave it at that, simplicity. That is the message. Nothing more and nothing less. But there is so much to be discovered here. I look forward to hearing what you found when we meet again. Godspeed.